Looks like someone needs help.
Mr. Sunday. Hey there! Okay, see the moon in the sky? If I just reached out my hand, I could grab the moon. Yeah. Look at me. I've been away from home, but it's no big deal. The Grand Theater here looks much better than the moon back home. They told me not to sell everything I had just to come to Penacony.
Selling everything you had? Why would you go?
Why? Can't you see? Life back home it's better to be here at Penacony. No pain, no worries about tomorrow, just sweet dreams. You can do whatever you want. That's what I call living.
Is this truly living?
Huh? What did you say, young lady? I didn't...
Oh, it's nothing, sir. You see, the traffic on Glock's Avenue can be dangerous. How about I ask a Bloodhound family member to escort you to Ideen Park over there, so you can continue?
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Wow. No, see you around, Mr. Sunday, and,
What's up, sister?
This is the land of the dreams. The man we ran into, he doesn't seem... Even though sweet dreams are nice, they're just illusions. But for him, they're the only way to survive, even if it means giving up on reality.
I suppose you have a point. But
Why do you say that?
you think that man is not actually living, but that's not quite accurate. Even without Penacony, people believe they have a predetermined value to fulfill. Gaining value means gaining power, and those deemed worthless are seen as the weak. However, value doesn't come out of thin air, and there's a limit to it. To accumulate value, people have to take from others. So...
Are you suggesting that this is not how things should be?
Exactly. But, ironically, people don't think there's anything wrong with it, because they uphold the illusory notion of self-value. And even the weak believe in it, the survival of the fittest. That's where all the tragedies in the world come from. People come to the sweet dream in Penacony. No tragedies exist here, only happiness. Although in its nascent form. Isn't that the same
Perhaps that man is just an exception. Let's not jump to conclusions. We should experience the dreams.
Yes. Seeing is believing. I'll accompany you. The Dream Master has...
Glad to meet you again, Robin. How are the preparations for the Charmony Festival coming along? We're all...
It's going smoothly. Thanks for...
You're too kind, Robin. It's a pleasure to have guests from all over the universe celebrate. I can't stand being lonely or bored, so this jubilant dreamscape is perfect for me.
But if this went on forever, would it get bored?
Nah, not at all. Who would get tired of having so much every day? You get to wear fancy clothes, explore all sorts of dream bubbles, indulge in delicious food without gaining weight, and you never get old or sick.
But you know that only a few things can be brought back from the dreamscape to...
That's exactly why I don't plan on bringing anything back. Just enjoying the dream itself is good enough for me. I mean, I'm not one of those long-living species. I only have around 60 or 70 years in this lifetime, and only in this sweet dream can I truly feel like I'm in control of my life and fate. Who would want to go back to reality after experiencing...
I see.
And I wish you a fantastic performance, Robin! I'm off to the Blue Hour for the ball.
Seems like that guest's perspective didn't
She had a valid point. I could sense her genuine happiness.
What you're trying to say is, she thinks she's in control of her life. But in reality, she's just escaping from reality and seeking solace in this sweet dream.
Well, she did make mention of being able to afford a room.
However, the paradise in our
No. And the paradise we yearn for shouldn't be. The scenery in this dreamscape is truly breathtaking.
Oh, Robin. Can't believe I'm meeting you in person here. What an honor. You're right. Even though time stands still in this dreamscape, it always feels fresh.
A philosophical mind. I hope I'm not intruding.
Oh, not at all. No. With little time left, I yearn for meaningful conversations, especially with someone as esteemed as you. Do you mind if we chat?
It's my pleasure. No need to be formal. Just speak your mind. You said, with little time left. Please, forgive me for being blunt. But is that why you came to Penacony?
Yeah. I was part of a war, and while escaping from the Sarkosian mothership, I got exposed to some radioactive materials. And then, all my comrades died, and my hometown was wiped out by neutron bombardments. I couldn't bear to live with everything.
How heart-wrenching. I hope the family has been able to help you.
They have, and I'm truly grateful for that. They provided me with a comfortable room, the most advanced life support devices, and my physical body is now in the dream pool, sustained by life support. The me you see here is whole, rational, and no different from any other person. But I can't say the same for my true appearance. No. I hope you never have to witness it, Robin.
So, you'll be living...
Just being able to live at all is good enough for me. Whether it's in this dreamscape or not, well, I don't really have much say in the matter. My world has been torn apart, and my life could end any second. So, even if this whole place is an illusion, now I envy those everlasting things.
That old man's story. It's so tragic.
That's precisely why this sweet dream in Penacony exists.
However, even the sweet dream has its limitations. While it provides...
There will be a way out. Penacony is already on the right track.
Look what we have here. A lovely young lady. Brother, what a surprise to see you again.
Show yourself. Your trick won't work on us.
I've heard that a skilled mass fool received an invitation too. That must be you.
Barely. The people here are way too gullible. A little bait is all it takes for them to bite. And they run away at the slightest hint of danger. In other words, they're naive.
Now that you've had your fill, it'd be wise to leave before it's too late. The music of the harmony doesn't tolerate discord.
What? Now that you have the real Robin, I'm useless? Oh, how disheartening. I've done so much for the family. You should be thanking me, because if it weren't for me cleaning up this mess, Penacony would still be in shambles. Don't you think?
That was a personal request from the head of the Iris family, and it has nothing to do with us. step aside and stop causing trouble.
The Charmony Festival? You think you can scare me? I don't care what you're thinking, Chicken Wing Boy. But I'm pretty sure lovely Robin won't be appearing on stage. After all, you're well aware of what a sorry state this dreamscape is in under the banner of harmony. Penacony, the land of the dreams.
Stop it.
What's the rush, Chicken Wing Boy? Did I get to you?
Our paradise is none of your concern, masked fool. Leave now, or the family won't tolerate you anymore.
All right. I'll go. But Robin, I suggest you seriously. Do you really believe those living in dreams can escape pain and find true happiness? Well, I've done my part. And now I'm simply waiting for the fire. Here, the last 2 gifts for both of you. And don't lose them. If by some unfortunate chance the Charmony Festival starts against all odds, remember to and it'll be thrilling. Bang!
I heard a raven cawing in the distance. It seems the Dream Master will arrive soon. Let's wait here for the Dream Master.
Okay. By the way, brother, I heard you no longer have a sweet tooth. Back when we were kids, seems like a lot has changed during my absence.
Well, someone has to stay awake even then.
But that someone doesn't have to be you, or anyone in particular. The paradise in our dreams. It shouldn't be like this. Penacony is nothing more than a dream. It can't erase the worries and pain of reality, or bring true happiness.
Remember the old man we met earlier? Without this dream...
That might be true, but even without Penacony, he could have chosen another path. As far as I know, the intelligentsia of that path may have been more ordinary and challenging. But now, he is receiving hospice care in a comatose state, and his fate is sealed. Is Penacony granting these people a future? Or is it taking it away from them?
Well, don't forget this. The future for humanity is like the sky for birds. People mistakenly believe that flight is inherent to birds because they've never witnessed those birds crashing to their death. Do you remember how we took in that little Charmony dove when we were young?
Yeah. We took care of it. Provided food and water, groomed its feathers.
Well, I didn't mention what happened to it in my letters because I didn't want to upset you. Shortly after you left, it crashed to its death right in front of your window.
I had surmised as much. I knew you wouldn't have avoided mentioning the bird for no reason. Despite that unfortunate outcome, I still believe it was the right decision. Birds aren't meant to spend their lives in cages.
But here's the thing. If there are birds in this world that can never fly, can we really assert that they belong in the sky?
Are you implying that the same goes for humans too?
Let's take the Astral Express as an example. The Nameless made tremendous efforts to bridge worlds, gaining fame across the universe. However, only a few That's because the pursuit of the Trailblaze exceeds the capabilities of ordinary humans. Otherwise, why would this path be filled with broken rails, an abandoned express, and even a fallen eon?
That's just sophistry. If that were true, then only the powerful would have the right to determine the future.
Unfortunately, that's exactly what happens. Another name for the future is self-value. While this world has its fair share of heroes who inspire people and garner admiration for their heroic deeds, The majority of ordinary people will never become heroes in their lifetime. Some are born weak and vulnerable. Some find themselves trapped in unfortunate circumstances. Some fall victim to malice and cowardice. When it comes to survival, everyone is equal. And the weak can only watch as their value gets constantly diminished by external forces.
That's why we should care for the weak and support them as if their suffering were our own. That's what the Odes of Harmony have always taught us.
While the Harmony holds noble aspirations, the strong will always be strong, and the weak will always be weak. Even in this carefree dream. Human nature contains greatness, but it also harbors inherent weaknesses that can't be eradicated. In the end, if people can't even secure their own survival, they won't care about the illusory future of equality. As long as the law of survival of the fittest prevails, there will always be fledglings crashing to their death.
But if people don't live for the future, do they merely exist for survival? If even you, my brother, don't believe that the Harmony will save the weak, then which Eon can make our dreams come true?
People often forget that when the first bird took flight, the entire no more fledglings would ever crash to their death.
Are you reading, sister? What are you reading?
Mr. Gopherwood gave me a picture book. It's about the story of the harmonic strings. If I could become a chord master, I'd like to summon Dominicus, the harmonious choir. I want to sing with everyone and spread our wishes so that all can feel happiness and joy.
I see. Then, I would summon the harmonious choir too.
Don't you have a wish of your own, brother?
Of course I do. It's just that it includes your wish and everyone else's. I long for a true paradise where everyone can.
Then, let's build a stage there and invite everyone to our performance so that both our wishes come true through the power of the harmonious choir.
It's a deal then.
Yeah, it's a deal. But how?
Maybe you'll have to become a star first.
You're back sooner than I thought. Any results?
Yes. And now, it's up to us to forge ahead.
Since he's already carried out his last wish, I find, but pardon me if I sound curt. It's good to have determination. The path Mikhail left for you is not an easy one to tread. Why else would he have chosen to sleep in solitude, staking everything on some nameless in the future? But you have the numbers, and in numbers comes strength. So that might just delay your inevitable a little more.
Got any more encouraging words?
As I see it, relying on Welt's negotiations alone is far from enough. Regardless of whether the other party will be compliant, negotiating simply allows us to meet them as equals and won't grant us an upper hand. Penacony is our rival's home turf, and we already have very few chips left to play with. Rather than idly sit around while the family's got us blocked off, an offensive approach might be a wiser course of action. We're more familiar with the Stellaron's properties than most, and since it's the key to stabilizing the Sweet Dream, it's vital to the family's interests. By attacking their core interests, they're bound to retaliate hastily. And as the saying goes, haste makes waste.
That's right. As long as we pose a threat to the Stellaron, either with words or otherwise, we have a chance at gaining the upper hand. But the problem is,
On the eve of the Charmony Festival opening? How exactly are we going to get close to the theater? Family security will be airtight. And if we brute force it? Even if we succeed, it's too risky.
So, no one's gonna say anything? Then I'll raise my hand. The Express crew would have been disbanded long ago if it weren't for me. So, I heard that before the Charmony Festival begins, there'll be a pageant to kick off the festival. It's called the Soul Glad TM Festivity Auditions, or something. And it's going to be held in the moment of Scorch Sand. As long as we clinch the top spot, we'll be able to attain the title of Festive Superstar, and be able to personally bask in the graces of Miss Robin. Not that that's important. What's crucial is that we can enter the Grand Theater before the audience arrives.
So, how do we go about participating in these festivity auditions?
I've already procured special invite tickets from Miss Robin's fan club. To tell you the truth, I had been preparing to join the auditions all along. But now it looks like even if I scrape through,
So they're still running this thing, huh? It was originally just a publicity stunt, set up by Mikhail to drum up attention.
We'll follow Marge's plan. Mr. Gallagher, will you be joining us?
I'm afraid I won't have the time. As a virtual character, I've already completed my final mission. Whether Penacony can awaken from this dream is all down to you.
Should we ever cross paths again? I'd love for you to visit the Express.
All right. I'll have to add to that data bank of yours you've got on the Express.
And Miss Firefly, we thank you for all your support. We're faced with a formidable enemy. As long as the Astral Express and Stellaron Hunter's objectives are aligned, we're willing to cooperate with you.
We've already come this far together. I'd like to join you for the rest of your journey on Penacony. I'm pleased that we can finally fight shoulder to shoulder. I couldn't ask for a better ending.
This is also the spirit of the Trailblaze. Now, everyone.
Out of all this.
As the last group of contestants, how confident are you in overcoming all of the challenges?
Would you be open to a brief exclusive interview with us? It'll be quick.
Your journey is long and fraught with peril, yet under a sky blanketed by banners, you vie for the crown.
The sword and rose! Protect the beauty! The beauty, the beauty! Magnificent and majestic!
A knight's head is hard as steel. Brother Lance's focus is stubborn as a heel. We don't all have to be winners, but if we don't have fun, we'd all be sinners.
People are pouring in. Kinda feels like all sorts of baddies are showing up. Let's get in there quickly and—
Ladies and gentlemen, please, make way. Make way.
Coming towards us now is one of Penacony's top 10 wealthiest tycoons, and the Soul Glad—
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the director of Soul Glad's factory, Dean Lena. My four friends, introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Himiko, a nameless from—
Don't you guys need to hide your identities?
Can't hide it anyways. Penacony is plastered with our posters. And because the Astral Express is so well known, the family won't dare to make it.
nameless guests. This final face-off is bound to be spectacular. Time is precious. My four friends, come with me.
Grab a bottle of Soul Glad and make your dreams a blast.
Is received.
Hey, buddy. Ever heard? Hey, buddy.
This place is buzzing.
That's right. This venue is a miniature representation of that time known as the era filled with boundless possibilities.
Stream 4.
Nameless, your arrival reminds me of the once. During a particularly grueling day, I passed out and was resuscitated by a drink from Mr. Sousa. That sweet taste has since been etched in my mind, and that was what drove me to create the Soul Glad that we all know and love. The dream-chasing era was truly a wondrous time. Oh, I miss those days, and the watch. I wholeheartedly hope you make it to the finish and emerge as the next superstars of Penacony. Now then, is there anything you'd like to say before the competition officially begins? trailblazing...
Hello, everyone! Next up, get ready for the Mega Mark 7th adventure!
Trailblazing into the uncharted and challenging the limits. That's Miss March 7th.
I hope that by the end of this journey...
Ah, a wonderful...
Safety first.
Waiting for you are 3 stages, each connected to that era. The first 2 stages offer 2 distinct paths to choose from. And in the last stage, you will face off against a champion. Those are the rules. Simple. Everyone clear? Now,
Everyone, as the Charmony Festival is drawing closer, we must reach the end as quickly as possible. March and I haven't known Miss Firefly for too long and aren't overly familiar with her. It'd probably be better if the two...
Fine by me. Let's do it.
All right. I don't have a problem with that.
We'll split into the assigned groups then. Let's not waste time.
No moral.
Welcome to the first stage of Soul Glad Enterprises' 33rd Scorch. In the School of Acting Challenge, you have to complete 3 performances from 3 scripts and move the panel judges. In the School of Action Challenge, you have to defeat 3 groups of enemies convinced. Now, make
The champion's crown awaits you on the stage. Welcome to the Arena of Action Stars. Please make your way to the stage and vanquish those malevolent...
competitors, allow me to introduce the rules of this challenge to you. There are a total of 3 stages up ahead, each with their own challenges. The enemies you will contend against are antagonists from the film Once Upon a Time in Dream. It's worth mentioning that the fastest time for this stage was achieved by a contestant with fiery red hair.
Time is of the essence.
Stream forward, the gleam of old blades.
Contestants, you are about to as dream chasers who've come to Penacony. Defeating them is...
Ready for another? Time for a fun. This is double speed. Together as one. Moment creations.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
So glad my...
Pretty simple. I just hope these tests don't...
Seek, and you will find.
In fact,
Congratulations on becoming the first group of Dream Chasers! Answering the call from the Watchmaker, you are disappointed to learn that Penacony isn't paved with gold. Resigned to your... Just as you're about to give up, a downpour sparks a business idea. You enter the umbrella business! But just as things are looking up, you encounter a competitor. Defeat them and emerge...
Why?
Because This is Soul Glad Enterprises' 33rd festivity auditions of the...
Isn't this just product placement?
To safeguard the integrity of Soul Glad, I will soar.
Netmark Festival. Time for a good old counter. Time for a buzz. Together as one.
Again. I weep for the departed. It takes a fall.
Netmark Festival. Time for a good old counter. This is double speed. Humans creations.
The world kisses me with pain, and I provide.
Seek, and you will find. Congratulations to our 2 Dream Chasers for establishing yourselves as budding stars in Penacony. However, now you face a competitor selling at low prices, pushing you to the brink of bankruptcy. No matter how lengthy the battle, you always persevere. Topple this powerful opponent, and the tides will turn, paving a way to success!
None will take my Soul Glad away from me. I will use the Transmutation Arcanum to turn into a dinosaur!
Oh, dinosaur! Devour my enemy! Grab a bottle of Soul Glad and make your dreams a blast!
Ready for another? Time for a buzz. Together as one. No matter.
No water to the flame. I weep for the departed. It takes a fall.
Netmark Festival. Time for a good old counter. Yin and yang. This is double speed. Time for a buzz.
I weep for the departed. It takes a fall.
The body withers, but the Soul Glad name shall not.
You truly are a beast! More than I can ever be.
That should do it! Isn't this fight way off from the actual storyline?
Transforming into a dinosaur isn't imaginative enough for you? This is the sort of magic only seen on Penacony. Anyway, let's get back on track. Where were we? Oh, that's right. After an extended battle, you finally emerged victorious! But the companion who journeyed to Penacony with you chose to leave. In the years that followed, you encountered each other once more on the prosperous streets of Penacony, but dared not call out to one another. Perhaps akin to... well done! You brought to life the thrilling action scenes from Once Upon a Time in Dreams. With your...
Looks like we won! Let's hurry up and get to the next stage.
Stream 4.
Congrats to both of you for clearing the stage, but more importantly, are you... Look at the time! You finished much faster than that red-haired contestant.
That red-haired contestant.
You'll find out eventually, but only if you clear the next test first. Welcome to the second stage of the 33rd Scorched Sand Festival in the 20th season, sponsored by Soul Glad Enterprises. You have the option to choose gunfire and undergo Brother Hanu's trial, or time, where now make... Dear friends, welcome to the enchanting universe created by the Watchmaker. Awaiting you is the morally dubious, yet it is said that these cartoon characters were inspired by the Watchmaker's own experiences. According to research by clocky scholars, the original Hanu of reality shared a deep friendship with the Watchmaker. Enter into the world of Hanu via the TV by the entrance and partake in an enchanting and suspenseful story with him. Good luck in there!
If it's a gunfire trial, we should be able to settle this with a fight, right? I hope this won't waste too much of our time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Are we...
Very good! Looks like in this Hanu's Adventure episode, Boss Stone has gathered his battleships for an assault on Dreamville. Or was, alas, Hanu presently is ill-equipped to fend off the malevolent mischief makers, which is why he is preparing to seek out the Puzzle Gentleman's aid. Go forth!
Oh, brave Hanu! You look like you could really use some help! Long time no see, Hanu. You look pretty stressed out. How about an intense and thrilling game of Dream Jigsaw to blow off... Listen closely, Hanu. I'm aware you're in, but you know what? You'll have to play an exhilarating round of Dream Jigsaw. Now scurry along, Hanu, but tread carefully. Two ne'er-do-wells are also eyeing those jigsaw pieces. Either outsmart them with the quick knockout, or ensure they don't catch you in the act. I can't wait to see you finish the Dream Jigsaw. Best of luck.
Let's stay alert and make sure those monsters don't spot us. Look up there! If we can push that thing down, do you think that would do the trick? Finally, that's all the jigsaw pieces. Let's hurry back.
Oh my! Hurry now!
Disconnecting from that thing so suddenly has left me feeling slightly disoriented. Is that Hanu? What exactly is he talking about?
Tick-tock! It's time for me to make it a...
Clocky?
In Dreamville, Clocky is everywhere and can do anything! Like right now! I can be your translator! Hanu says, battle! We must do battle! The enemy is at our doorstep, and we have no path of retreat! For the... Touch that suspicious-looking TV right now!
So they just... Sheesh. Logic in this plot and dialogue is... Well, there we go again. Ready? gradually getting used to this.
Oh, did someone say high-level movies just now? That's right, pal. The upcoming script is just exploding with all sorts of high-level shenanigans. Last we saw, Hanu was preparing for battle. Suddenly, he hears heavy footsteps coming from the hallway. Malevolent mischief makers, but brave Hanu won't go down without a fight. He instantly sprints for the storage room, ready for a do-or-die shoot.
But we still...
Guess what? Hanu's favorite bazooka just so happens to be in that...
What a coincidentally convenient plot twist. It'd be even more awesome if the organizers allowed... The storage room. It's behind the shelves, right? He wasn't lying. There's actually a bazooka here. Now we should have a way of dealing. This thing feels just like the soaring locust too. Careful. It looks like we've... Here we go again.
No, the not-so-unstoppable Hanu has actually fallen. Quickly, return to the battlefield and seek revenge against the bad guys.
Here we go again.
Who has been spotted? Everyone, please, with caution.
That should be all.
My. Congratulations to both of you! Oh, in the final stage, you will face the defending champion. If you fail, welcome to the 33rd Scorched Sand Festival's 3rd stage.
No way, I think I just saw someone. Someone extraordinary.
Are you a Knight of Beauty?
Behold, this symbol of pure...
Do we still have the upper hand? Enemy data signet mark festival. Time for a good old counter. Can I have fun this time? Time for a bug. This is double speed. Gather as one. Human creation.
I weep for the departed. It's this horror.
Bear witness. You are fighting a gentleman. Pledge thy loyalty. Put forth all your might.
Ready for another? More enemies. Time for a bug. Yin and yang. Enemy data signet mark festival. Time for a good old counter.
Let the duel commence. Put forth all your might.
Desperately. I weep for the departed. It is a bond.
Rise to the challenge.
Enemy targets detected.
Rise to the challenge.
We don't have much time. May fate allow us to... In that case, let's make our way to the end. Penacony's really thronging with talent. I hope we make it in time.
Congratulations to the both of you on becoming the festive superstars of this year's Charmony Fest. I, on behalf of the organizers, extend my sincere... As previously promised, my sister, Mr. Yang, and I have met with the Dream Master. We delved into the truth. Both I and the Oak family cannot. We acknowledge the perspective of you, Nameless. Penacony does require change, but not as you propose. The planet of festivities cannot and will not. Through your journey of overcoming obstacles, you must have glimpsed the essence of that era. The vulnerable ruthlessly eliminated. Ultimately, only heroes like yourselves manage to achieve success. But I would dare ask, if you did not possess the special status of having a Stellaron, and you were but an anonymous and frail member among the masses, which a dystopia for the survival of the fittest, or a sweet dream paradise?
Mr. Sunday, even if the members of the Oak family can't fully agree on what to do about the Stellaron, now's not exactly the time to be holding an extensive discourse about Penacony's past and future, is it? The Stellaron issue concerns the life and death of everyone on Penacony. If anyone has a better suggestion, the crew is more than willing to listen. Also, this way, we'll at least know what Welt and Miss Robin are dealing with, and the reason why they failed to make our appointment.
Ah, Navigator. That is precisely my intention. Let's talk about our tribulations and choices, our idea and our final course of action.
You mean to say that for the longest time, there have been scoundrels who would use the Charmony Festival that I have bequeathed to the masses as a tool to
Indeed, Dream Master. Once the Charmony Festival begins, the Stellaron's powers, along with the song, will be broadcast across the entire planet of...
This is indeed surprising to me. The dreamscape is maintained by the collective effort of the 5 families. If someone were to use the... Do you have any suspect?
I'd like to ask, did you really not know of this?
I would have never thought that this...
If I have offended, the Astral Express extends its sincere apologies. But the current circumstances are dire and leave no room for meticulous inquiry. We're doing this out of concern for the Dreamscape's safety. So, if...
Dream Master, it's just to prove that the Charmony Festival has nothing to do with the Stellaron. If we're being overly cautious, I will return to the...
Sunday, Robin. I've watched you two grow up, and know your dispositions like the back of my hand. Both of you, right now, the magnitude of this matter is enormous, and cannot be taken lightly. Since Mr. Yang has asked with such earnestness, I will personally respond in kind. If there is a need, the entire Sunday, might I ask you to beseech them to cast their light unto me, and question me in their stead, so that no...
I will do as you command.
Robin, could I entrust you to be present as a witness, to document the truth, and to proclaim...
I will do as you command.
May thy will be carried out on earth, just as it...
Oh, triple-faced soul, please sear his tongue and palms with a hot iron, so that he will not be able to fabricate lies and make false vows.
Let us begin. There is nothing else.
Understood. Question. Have you devoted your life to your god, never worshipping other gods?
Naturally.
Do you love your god as you do yourself, always heeding their admonishments?
Naturally.
Have you strayed from the path expected by your god, betraying their name?
Never.
Have you ever been inordinate with your asks of your god, coveting more than the foundation of the creation itself?
Never.
Then, a final question. Do you swear to fulfill all vows, past, present, and future?
With the Eon as my witness, if I do not deliver on my words, or if I renege on my vows, may I be cursed in accordance...
They have seen your faith, and have endorsed your faith. With this...
Just a moment.
What is it, Mr. Yang?
I have another question I hope to have answered. To my understanding, the family's harmony and prosperity have never relied on so-called divine laws. The god you both mentioned, are they truly Shipe?
Mr. Yang should know that those belonging to the family toil together as if they were kin, embracing solidarity and unity under their light. All duplicity, such a delicate and complex symphony. Which other god could perfectly harmonize this if...
Perfectly harmonize it. Therein lies the problem. It isn't an outsider lurking in the shadows who changed the harmony, but a dissonance that has surreptitiously emerged from within this very symphony itself. In the distant past, there existed an Eon. With one flick of the wrist, they crafted the laws of the cosmos. Their followers formed the Beyond the Sky Choir, spreading solemn and reverent... Later, they fell. The route traversed by this Eon clashed with the harmony, ultimately being absorbed and fused into it. The chorus that once reverberated across worlds fell silent, and when it echoed anew, it was transformed into the hymn of harmony. Though an Eon may perish, paths with no masters still linger. In the all-forgiving harmony, Echoes of bygone dissonance may subtly arise.
Mr. Yang, being overly astute can be a detriment. Especially when you find your...
So this is how it is.
For the sake of our grand cause, Sunday, please afford these two an opportunity.
What?
Sorry, Robin. It's just you. I did not wish for you to know this.
So, this is the true reason I can't sing? The shadow that envelops Penacony is that...
We were never children of the harmony. Our ideal paradise could not have been crafted by Xipe. True bliss can only be guaranteed within the foundation of law. Humanity establishes, and through harmony, we obtain order.
Unbelievable. To think that there would be remnants of the Order on Penacony.
What have you done with Mr. Yang and Miss Robin?
Don't worry. I just gave them some time alone to...
You should know that these actions make you an enemy of the Astral
Should we need to stand against the Nameless, it would only be myself and the Oak family involved. But we haven't reached that. Your efforts for the justice of Penacony are evident to everyone, and have been widely... Smart kid. You're just...
If it is the Order that drove you to imprison Welt and Robin, and you're using them to coerce our compliance, then there'll be no point in entertaining any type of discussion.
You're mistaken, Miss Himiko. They are in very safe hands, and just as the family has always proclaimed, no one can be harmed in the dreamscape. Penacony and the entire universe have witnessed far too much innocent bloodshed. The strong wield their blades against the weak, in the victor's natural selection. The world abides by this principle, establishing the well-being of humanity atop the corpses of the downtrodden. Only we, or rather, I,
So you've decided to resurrect a dead Eon? No one's ever done such a thing.
If Miss Himiko is interested, let's draw back the veil and speak candidly. I've always firmly believed that people can understand one another through peaceful means. I'm willing to divulge the unembellished truth as to the intentions of the Order's Pathstriders, so that you will make better judgment for the Astral Express, for Penacony, and for this stretch of the universe. Words can hardly do justice to the beauty of that. So, come with me, everyone. Let us retrace our steps.
Huh? Where'd he go?
Welcome. This isn't any location in Penacony's dreamscape. It's my inner world. The reason the scenery before you remains unchanged is...
Did you do the same to Welt?
It's a tuning process. Stronger in effect and more draining on the mind. The gray-haired guest has experienced it before. Tuning allows you to intuitively grasp my feelings, which also means that I cannot hide anything. Now, everyone, please look at the huge screen. From this point on, you will witness the numerous decisions I've faced. I've selected a portion of these to share. I believe after going through similar predicaments, you'll be able to better understand. Let's begin. The first decision. A story. This story happened when Robin and I were very young. We were victims of the Stellaron disaster, and the family's Mr. Gopher Wood, who would later become the Dream Master of Penacony, saw that we later on. Robin and I lived a time with nary a care in the world. One day, after dinner, while my younger sister and I were lounging about in Mr. Gopher Wood's yard, we spotted a fledgling Charmony dove all on its own. That baby bird was tiny. It didn't even have all of its feathers, and it couldn't sing. When we found it, it was already on its last breath. Having fallen into a shrub, we decided to build a nest for it right there and then. However, thinking back, that winter was unusually cold, with fierce winds at night in the yard. It was clear that if we left the fledgling in the yard, it stood no chance of surviving until spring. So, I suggested we take it inside. We decided that when it regained its strength enough to spread its wings, we would release it back into the wild. The tragic part, something that we'd never considered, was that this bird's fate had already been determined long before this moment. Its destiny was determined by our momentary whim. Now, I pass the power of choice to you all. Faced with this situation, stick to the original and build a nest with soft net where the Charmony dove fell. Or build a cage for it and feed it, giving it the utmost care. I eagerly await your answer.
That guy just casually throws this kind of question at us? What exactly is his if it were me? I guess after all, leaving it there,
I can't decipher his intention, even if I was gonna release it back into the...
It looks like he really has no intention of imprisoning us. If it's just a quiz, back to the question. I would personally choose to build no special reason. I do think that a fledgling should have the right to fly into the sky. But if it can't even live to that point, then there's nothing to talk about to begin with.
Interesting. From what I've observed, even if they shy away from humans, as for the choice you made, I am deeply sorry. Now, this story happened when I was appointed as Bronze Melodia, a position exclusive to the Oak family, charged with listening to the problems and vexations of Dreamscape residents, and providing them with the... It was during that period that I had the opportunity to hear voices from all corners of the Dreamscape. Joy, sorrow, arrogance, regret. He was a dream chaser, and an illegal stowaway. Just like the rest of them, he came to Penacony in search of a better life. Except that, he told me, I sold everything I could at home. The house, the land, even his 2 children. He said he had a plan in place. He would buy back his children once he had made his fortune, and enjoy Penacony's beautiful dream with them. Alas, after hearing the Dream Chaser's story, I immediately appealed to the Bloodhound family to cease their pursuit. That way, at least he could live peacefully. But I was still too naive to the ways of the world. I did not anticipate that what I thought. I'll tell you the outcome soon. For now, will you do as I did and try to convince the Bloodhound family to stop their pursuit, so that the Dream Chaser may live peacefully and realize his wishes? Or will you remain silent, leaving him to languish while the hounds are hot on his heels, until his inevitable judgment arrives? I look forward to everyone's decisions.
This question... Surely it has some connection to the baby bird story. I'd probably choose to ask the Bloodhounds to cease their pursuit.
A dream, but what cruel...
It seems illegal stowaways are really quite common on Penacony. But that guy in the story, he sold his kids to chase a dream. Even if he intended to go back for them, it's still insanely irresponsible. With that thought, there's only one choice. Let the Bloodhound send him back home. This...
A Dream Chaser story. If I acted out of kindness, but what cruel repercussion?
This question... I'd probably choose to ask the Bloodhounds to cease their pursuit.
I'm honored to wit first the outcome. Now then, he told me the reason he was in this predicament. In the end, my heart aligned with the harmony. As to your choice, I once again offer my heartfelt apologies in the story this time. This story happened the day I was appointed the Oak family head. At that time, Mr. Gopherwood was the... What surprised me was that the Dream Master had only come to deliver a letter to me. He let me read its contents. The letter contained the usual pleasantries, anecdotes from her travels. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just as I started wondering how this letter related...
Do you know who wrote this letter?
My sister, of course. But why would you personally visit me to hand me a letter?
To help you grasp the full scope of this issue. Do you know?
From what the letter indicates, she must be in Caspelina 8, correct? She's touring there.
Correct. Has she mentioned anything?
A stray book?
A war has broken out on that planet. It is because of this very reason that Robin chose this destination. To spread the word of the harmony. And to save the life. She hoped to ease the people's suffering with song. And was willing to brave mortal danger to deliver the IPC's medical supplies. Unfortunately...
Is she alright?
If the operation was successful, she should probably be by the eon above. The bullet struck her neck directly, yet possibly as a reward for her consistent deeds of harmony. It didn't hit any vital arteries.
Those damned savages! I'll pack my bags right away. My gratitude for bringing this to my...
Now you understand why she always wears such elaborate neck ornaments. Don't...
How could this happen?
It's all in the past, so please don't worry. I share this in the meager hope that you will likewise. I've prepared one last question. One last choice. Because this is merely a figment of imagination. Would you still support Robin's journey on the path of harmony?
I often there can with each trail.
Miss Robin put the fact.
I can't believe.
I am now aware of everyone's stances. Raising these questions merely serves to illustrate one point. The plight of Penacony cannot be salvaged by the Harmony. The true foundation for a sweet dream paradise. I know the suffering of being tormented. The turmoil of losing your way. How sorrow, and even despair, set in when matters don't work out. All of this causes me unending pain. Because this is... We must teach the weak how to live a happy life. And this life isn't some noble propriety that the upper crust preaches, but in definitive terms.
So what is your definition of living a happy life?
Good question. Human consciousness is fundamentally an illusion. A cage. When one mistake after the next permeates the masses, they become impossible to trace. Thus, the amassing of these individual cages called nature is always accompanied by predation and sacrifice. Its antithesis, that is what I want to do. Unite people's happiness under the banner of order. They won't need to make bitter choices any longer, nor face... Simply describing thoughts is far too abstract. So allow me to provide a simple example. As you all may know, there are societal norms like... During these hard-earned rest days, people are given the chance to extricate themselves from the stresses of everyday life, allowing a certain... And it is only on these days that people do not have to adhere to the law where the strong prey on the weak. They can live out their lives happily during these brief intermissions. From where I stand, society's ideal system should be 7 rest days. Following Sunday, there should ensue a second, a third, and indeed an infinite procession of Sundays. This should be the fate, and thus, every person can return to their base selves in this utopia. Some gaze in reverence at the stars, pouring their whole beings into calculating the distance between us and the isolated world of Pagana. Meanwhile, some seek refuge in quiet corners, holding there would be no need to bear the hardships of reality. Only in this way can humanity face the inevitable end with the purest. Miss Firefly, you who are stricken with entropy loss syndrome, you of all.
It sounds like...
But... what is...
The cost is minute, merely a personal and eternal sacrifice. If this paradise is to be maintained for everyone, someone must remain trapped in solitary awakening until the end of the cosmos.
Awakening? Which means that this so-called paradise is still a dream. Stepping into this paradise means forsaking reality, correct?
It is not forsaking, but transcending. Flesh, blood, sorrow, weakness. If the physical is the root of spiritual suffering,
But in this supposed bliss, people won't have defeated their demons. The chance to overcome their tribulations would be forever lost to them. In other words, it is an escape.
That's another way of understanding it. But there is no shame in escape. On the contrary, the seeds of escape. Don't you agree, Miss Firefly? And as to why we sleep, it is because we are afraid. But this is not in conflict with the grand plan. Only in acknowledging this can we truly understand the frailty of human nature.
I admit that you are a born leader. Your perspective on... But unlike you, I live for the self. From my perspective, individuals making choices for themselves is the want to escape may be innate in the weak. But whether they are weak or not, perhaps in your mind, you also view me as weak? Because I don't think so.
Since Miss Firefly has said her piece, the Astral Express will also naturally give you our answer. We'll leave it to you. Just as Mr. McHale instructed before. Tell him.
What is...
Does this place ring any bells, Misha?
I don't know, but...
It's the realm within a dream bubble. This was left to the Astral Express by a nameless. But weirdly, when we entered it, Dr. Edward from the Dreamscape sales store told me that dreams are formed from memories, and a dream bubble, so I thought you might be able to help us in unraveling this mystery, Misha.
I don't know much about dream bubbles, but if you want...
I'm counting on you then.
Himeko, I still don't get it. Why were you so sure that Misha had a connection?
I wasn't sure. It was just a hunch. But since Misha feels familiar with this place... Exactly. This is where you... The question now is, who brought you here? Based on the clues we have so far, it sounds like we're drawing closer to the truth once more. Let's give Misha some time, as I believe...
All right, but there are doors all over the place.
I guess... I'm not entirely sure, but... Let's give it a try.
Wait, you managed to choose the right...
Weird. This place is quite different from the hotel. If I remember correctly, there should be a fire and hold on. This doesn't make sense. Didn't I...
This could be a case of amnesia. Don't worry, Misha. It's common for everyone to forget certain aspects of the past. Those memories have... Since this place seems familiar to you, why don't we explore a few more rooms and...
Yeah, then let's...
Mikhail, that's the name. Now we all know him as the Watch. So, who is he talking to?
I'm sorry. I don't know much about the Watchmaker.
Anything special about that name?
Mikhail is Grandpa's name.
Grandpa?
But we haven't heard anything about the Watchmaker having descendants. And the name Mikhail is not rare. Could you tell us more about your grandpa, Mikhail?
Yeah, sure. He was a seafarer who fearlessly ventured into mysterious seas and storms. He was always on the sea. He didn't want me to call him Grandpa because that would make him sound old. He believed he was still young. The name Mikhail was given to him by his parents, Mihaly and Elise. Every time he came back, he'd share his logbook with me and tell me about his adventures at sea.
It appears that the seafarer has nothing to do with the watchmaker. So where is your grandpa now?
He went off on a new journey, and it's been... So, where has Clocky gone? Did he leave to protect Dreamville? Tick-tock. Tick-tock. I heard some noises from the room.
You and
Yeah. It's a member of the Compass crew, just like Clocky and Miss Mirror. And there's more than just one origami bird. They follow Miss Mirror's orders and handle all sorts of jobs on...
Sailors?
Could you tell us more about the Compass, Misha?
The Compass is a ship bound for the New World. Clocky and his partners travel through layers of fog to the depths of the sea. Whenever there is danger, Clocky will use a compass and guide the ship in the right direction.
That's a great story. But in the Penacony cartoon, Clocky and his partners have...
Huh? Oh, weird. I clearly...
Perhaps Clocky has a hidden...
I think I hear the sound of water.
You once mentioned there's a magnificent fountain up ahead. Look, there it is!
The water resembles a precious jewel every time I gaze.
Have you recalled anything, Misha?
Yeah. I saw these sentences in Grandpa's logbook. He used to say that despite the perils of the sea, whenever he stood on the deck in the afternoon, overlooking the sparkling waves, he would think of this He often said that those moments felt like returning to his family's side. And the difficulties at sea...
You know... Hey, don't tease! I was just being...
Perhaps every adventurer far from home carries a fountain within their soul. Even though the other side of the sea remains shrouded in the unknown, the fountain in front of his house...
Yeah. While Grandpa was at home, we would stand by the fountain and place the compass. Back then, I would ask him when I could go on adventures like him. And he would always...
It seems this Mikhail is truly a seafarer and has nothing to...
Yeah. Based on Misha's recollections, the scenes in the dream...
But this raises more questions. According to Misha, he was clearly born on an oceanic planet, and could this be some sort of metaphor?
I'm sorry. I don't know, but my memories keep pouring. Perhaps I'll... I wish to share your burden.
We're going to the opposite side, right?
No. We should turn left here.
Huh? Something feels different about this place.
This is it. I remember this corridor. Up ahead is... Grandpa's study. It was in that room that
The atmosphere in this room feels totally different.
Misha! You finally come!
Clocky! You're here!
Are those books on the bookshelf logbooks left behind by that seafarer?
Yeah. whenever he came back, he placed a lock. He described our world as a fountain to ensure that everyone had land to settle on. He had to continue exploring this. On that day, he called me to his study, telling me that he was embarking on another journey. However, I asked him if I could go with him, but he said that my adventure lay elsewhere, and told me to stay.
What sound?
He told me about a vast ocean in the sky. An ocean of stars. He spoke of it. He said that he knew the crew on the train, and that he had asked them to take me along.
A train?
It's the Astral Express. I remember now. Grandpa's friends then. He gave his pocket watch to me. It was his cherished treasure. Peering in it, he said, as long as I kept moving forward, I'd eventually reach the distant sound of a train whistle.
Exactly, Misha! And then we followed that whistle.
Yeah. I think I can...
This is the dream jigsaw, right? So we're...
Do you remember? You said you had...
Hey, the shape seems...
Looks like we're just one step from revealing the truth. Let's get to the other side and...
This is it. While I spent my time waiting for Grandpa to return from his voyage here, I learned how to repair clockworking gears out of my fondness of precision mechanics. In my dreams, I was the captain of the compass.
So, this building in the dream bubble?
Yes, but not this dream bubble itself.
Looks like...
Wait. Why does it feel like everyone else knows something I...
March, do you remember when he mentioned a clocky?
Yeah, the little guy here, right? But we all saw him in Dreamflux Reef.
Looks like everyone on the Astral Express has a childlike spirit.
The answer lies in the Astral Express. His experience shows that neither Firefly nor... And when we were in Dreamflux Reef, you may have noticed that for some reason, nobody outside of the crew... A mimetic life that can only be seen by a select few. It's just like a hidden message left by...
But Misha can see Clocky too, right? They even grew up together. But Misha hasn't started the...
That's the key to the mystery, March. Now, have you ever seen anyone outside of the crew interact with...
Wait...
That's the answer, March 7th. This dream bubble is the place where I was born. And I should have stayed here and waited for you. But when reality and memories merged, I unconsciously pushed open that door.
So it's not that the Watchmaker's dream bubble is empty, but and the whistle you heard was the sound of the express arriving at...
That's one way to see it, but I believe there's a longer story behind all this. How about we start with your name? Now should we...
Thank you all for helping me rediscover my true self. Now, I was born on Lushaka, in the Presmere system. Adopted by seafarers Mikhail and Char. They gave me a treasure. Mikhail Char Legwork. Or simply, if you prefer, you can call me by a more familiar name.
So, you're the Watch...
Unfortunately, that legendary figure
As for the child who has been with you, he's the innocent protagonist of Misha's childhood dream. Friend. And this also marks the beginning of his journey, devoted to
At the end of the journey, I left this little flame, which I so cherished, in my deepest dreams, hoping to pass it on to the nameless of future generations. However, he somehow left the dream bubble and forgot all about his task. I apologize for all the confusion this caused.
Because he was born with a desire to trailblaze. I don't think Misha has forgotten his role as a guide. He remembered it, and that's why he mistakenly appeared as a hotel doorman in his dream from the very beginning. The one who brought our unconscious friend here must have been Misha. If that's the case, we encountered the Watchmaker's legacy from the beginning, didn't we?
Well, I have a sarcastic friend who says I always take big detours and end up back where I started. Perhaps that's what every nameless has to go through. But in the end, you found me. I'm sure you're all wondering what my legacy is. If I may apologize, the Stellaron part is real. As for my wealth, I left my homeland as a child and embarked on the journey of Trailblaze. I traveled to various planets until finally reaching Asdana. I've been moving forward all my life, doing what I could to overcome the obstacles in my path. So, if you ask what's left within this worn-out train engine that can be called a legacy, I suppose it's the things that are still burning now that you're well aware of the current situation of Penacony. I certainly hope that you'll help me get this world back on track. But I'll leave that decision to you. All I have for you is a story and 2 gifts. I want to give you my pocket watch. It has accompanied me throughout my long journey, guided, and my hat too. The one who navigated for me placed it on my head. Now, it's time for you to make your choice. Once you've made up your mind, open that door. I'll be waiting for you at the end of this corridor of time.
All right, everyone. Let's make a decision. Although I don't think anyone will have any objections.
Of course. We've come this far. Surely there's no other option than move.
In that case, it's unanimous. Then let's proceed together to the end of this stream. And